Hey you guys, it's your girl T, and I have this crazy news story that's coming from Fox News. I'm not going to put the video in this video. Y'all can click the link down below and go to my website and go watch the video. This video is a trip. So basically what's going on is that we have two white parents, and they are outraged that their little white daughter, who's 8 years old, has been exposed to stuff that they weren't ready for her to be exposed to. So what was she exposed to? Was she exposed to, sex or, violence or anything like that? No, she was exposed to going to a performance at her school, and they had some high school kids come in, and they all had on shirts that say Black Lives Matter, and they also had on shirts that said, hands up, don't shoot. And the parents were really uncomfortable with this, but they decided to, just kind of sit down and watch the whole presentation. And then they said while they're watching the presentation, a bunch of black guys started getting up on stage and put their hands up, and they're basically saying that I am Mac Brown, I was an innocent teenager killed in Ferguson, Missouri. And when they heard that, they were just disgusted. They couldn't believe that the school would even be okay with this. How dare they fill their poor daughter's head with all this propaganda. So these people are just really upset at the school system. They're even contemplating taking their daughter outside the school, because after the performance, the daughter came up to the father, who's a cop, and she was like, Daddy, how can police officers shoot good people? How can police officers kill black people? And the father was really upset that he had to have a real world conversation with his 8-year-old. So like I said, if you guys have not seen this video, click the link down below, check it out, and I'm gonna come back with the rest of my commentary. Alright, so I'm sure you guys all watched the video down below. So a few things bother me with this whole situation. One is this child is 8 years old, so 8-year-olds are very smart. She's old enough to comprehend, okay? I think not being honest with this child and avoiding the conversation is what leads to ignorance and racist behavior. And then another thing I felt watching the video, I was like, damn, it must be nice. Like I was seriously jealous, because I remember when everything was going down with Mike Brown, especially when everything went down with Tamir Rice, I had to sit both my boys down and we had a full-fledged conversation. My son is, about the same age as her. She's 8. He just turned 9. I had to literally sit my son down and have a full-fledged conversation with him about why he can't be out here with a toy gun because a 12-year-old child was killed in Cleveland. No questions asked, no nothing. And then to sit and look at my son's face to see how worried he was, and why are the police doing this, and I thought police were here to help. And I had to really break it down to him. Yes, a majority police officers are good officers, they are here to help, but you have a few rogue cops. These are conversations I've had to have with my kids, and I'm really jealous of these parents that they've gone 8 years and they haven't had to have none of these conversations with their little girl. You know what I'm saying? It must be really nice. I think for me, that's what bothered me the most, is that they don't even have to have this conversation, and the only reason they're having this conversation is because of a play. I mean, it just boggles the mind. But I think instead of the parents getting upset and getting mad at the school, have an open discussion with your child. Let your child know that there is racism out there. There are rogue cops out there. Are all cops bad? No, of course not. That's like saying that all black people are bad or all black people are thugs. At the end of the day, it's not fair to judge an entire group based off of the actions of a few. But when you have cases upon cases of black men out here getting shot, getting killed, you do have to start questioning the situation and start questioning the motives and questioning what's going on. And I think instead of them being so upset and going to Fox News and showing their disapproval, they just need to have an open, honest conversation with their daughter and let their daughter know what's going on. I just find the whole situation crazy that they're outraged by this situation. So anyways, go ahead and leave a comment. Let me know your thoughts on this entire crazy situation that went down on our favorite news station, Fox News. Okay, so what do you think about these two white parents being outraged about their daughter being supposedly exposed to all this racial turmoil and this little racial play? And are you one of those parents who are open and honest with your kids, especially if you have males? Do you tell them what it is, regardless if your child is white, black, biracial, or do you feel like you want to keep your child innocent until they get a lot older, as opposed to exposing them to the real world right now when they're 8, 9, 10 years old? Anyways, let's go ahead and get the discussion popping. Let me know your thoughts on this entire video concerning these parents. Leave a comment, like, share, rate, subscribe. All right, deuces.